Haywood School in Nottingham has one of the fastest rates of improvement in attendance and punctuality in the country.
When you think when we started there was 149 pupils through here, and I mean they were queuing halfway up the drive and that was a regular thing, and now we've got just dribs and drabs.
So how have they done it? Break's over and head teacher Jill Hislop is on the beat, ensuring pupils get back to their lessons on time.
Come on, boys.
Since she took the job 3 years ago, Jill has brought Haywood out of special measures.
Cap off, please. How are you going in? Come on, boys, nice and quickly.
And she's boosted attendance from 81 to 88%, using a philosophy based more on carrots than sticks.
Come on, nice and quickly. When I came here, the view was very much that it was a school that was neglected, not cared for, and really gave the message that these children aren't important.
Used to come late sometimes, about 3 times a week.
Just not nice, not friendly. People used to rip displays down and it just used to look like nobody cared.
I got here sometimes, but not most of the time.
One of the things that I did from the start was wanted to just get the children feeling that somebody cared about them again.
Do you want to hold your ball for you?
Yes. We do use the sticks in that we have detentions and we do have a process that we follow through. But my view is very much that children need to want to come to a school. You know, if you just punish children, they're going to quickly get the message that there's nothing that they seem to be able to do right. When I first came to the school, there was a lot of shouting, there was a lot of anger, there was a lot of lack of any real dialogue. So we've had to change a real ethos in the school. We've had to really re-engage children.
Central to that change of ethos is a new American approach to relationships between staff and pupils, based on consistent management and cooperative discipline. CMCD.
It's all about a change in philosophy, and it's very much based on very positive things. It's about a positive tone in the classroom and using different classroom strategies, which you know, are not rocket science things in themselves, but just classroom managers getting the children themselves engaged in the whole process of their education, that it's a caring environment. And that's worked very effectively to help engage the children.
You three.
That's the
hey, it's lovely to see you today.
I know.
Humanities teacher Claire Hamilton had a tough time when she first arrived 4 years ago. She's noticed a big improvement in pupil attitudes, much of it down to a reward scheme that's central to the CMCD programme.
Since Miss Hislop arrived, we've spent less onus on dealing with the bad behaviour, but more towards dealing with the children being in class and actually working. We've had things such as rewards that focus on the positive side of attendance and punctuality. One of the main ones is an on-time ticket. This is given to every child in the class once a week who attends on time. They then write their name on it and hand it back in. Once a month, I will pick 2 children in each class, a girl and a boy, and I will give them a Model Citizen of the Month award. We've got various different postcards. Rather than sending a letter to the parents, the postcards, you often get a child maybe put their head around your door and say, "Thank you, miss." And whereas maybe if you sent a letter to their parents, they wouldn't have done that. It helps build a teacher-pupil rapport.
Numbers down, how many sides they've got.
Another key strategy was to broaden the curriculum to meet the needs of less academic pupils.
Children are not going to go to their lessons if they can't actually access the education that's been delivered. And do you know the difference between those 2 types of triangle?
Because they've all got three sides.
We've broken the curriculum down for different children's needs. The kinesthetic way of learning, the actual practicality of learning, is far, far more accessible.
Let's show how well you can do.
It was also crucial to rigorously enforce a structured approach to all lessons.
come back over to the main desk, bring your sheets with you, and we're back to my time. Well done.
Head of English Nicola Pearson is spearheading many of these improvements to teaching and learning.
And on your sheet, you're going to see there are all sorts of horrible crimes on here. Stuff that hopefully, Lewis, you would never think of doing yourself. What you're going to do is you're going to put these in order, and you're going to start with what you think is the most evil, down to the crime that perhaps isn't as bad as any of the others. What I'm looking for is that you can tell me what you think, because if we want to get level 5 and above on the exam, we need to really show that we've thought about what's happening in the play, OK?
Yes, can you number them, like one?
Yeah, so number 1, that's what Amy said, number 1 would be your worst crime, number 2 would be the second worst, and then all the way down, OK? We work very closely on ensuring that as soon as children come into class, there's a starter activity that they begin with for the first sort of 5 or 10 minutes to get them engaged with the lesson. I've taught at the school for 4 years, and currently I think we're at the peak of the best that we've been in that time, and there have been lots of things that have impacted upon that. One of them has to be the Key Stage 3 strategy, which obviously has happened in all schools, primarily started in the English department and then filters out across schools. What that means is that the children receive a 4-part lesson in every subject that they go to, so that they get that real consistency. Also, what I'm going to be looking at, and what I want you to be able to show me by the end, is that you can comment on the themes, the ideas in the play. What kind of things happen? What do you think about Macbeth? Is it the witch's fault? Are the crimes really bad?
I'd say that one was next, because if someone knows someone's a murderer but says nothing, it's not really that bad, is it? Number 12. Yeah. We think that a woman who kills her own child is number 1 because she brought him into this life and then she's taking him back out again. So that's not really fair, though. Yeah, but we don't know how old he is, though. He could be, like, 25.
Teaching and learning is the main thing. If children don't come to school and they don't attend a positive lesson that engages them from the start, that gets them involved and that takes their feedback, they're not going to want to come to school, and therefore they vote with their feet. Amy, start me off, please. Which crime did you and Alicia think was particularly bad? And most importantly, level 5, why? Well done.
We thought that a woman who kills her own child was the worst because she's brought the child into the world.
Good.
And then she's taken the life back of the child.
She has no right to take the life of the child, whatever the reasons.
I think attendance and punctuality do need to be separated, definitely. If children are attending school, that's a great start, and we obviously need to work on that and build on that. We have had a culture in the past, and to a certain extent that still exists, but that we're working on, where children will attend school but that feel it doesn't necessarily matter what time they arrive to school. And I think that's the second stage. Great that we're actually getting them through the door and we're getting them here, and then the next step is to ensure we get them here on time.
So punctuality has also been tightened, with some carefully targeted sanctions like a new late gate.
Family problems, OK. Have you got a note at all, Tammy?
No. Why were you late?
Okay. Can you bring a note, please?
Yeah. Overslept.
We've got a detention tonight as well.
Do you think oversleeping's a good enough excuse? I'm a strong believer, and I think the head, in fact I think it's a whole school ethos, we're strong believers in the carrot. So as far as we can take it down the line, we will stay as positive as we can. We will encourage the children into school, we'll try and make it a positive event for them. It's more or less a last resort that we will take any action against the children or the families. If they come in at any time between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, they get the 10-minute detention. If they don't do the 10-minute detention at the end of the day, it mounts up and they'll do an hour's detention at the end of the week, where they'll actually be collected from class and they'll have to sit the hour's detention. Obviously, we'll have informed the parents of that. If they come in after 9 o'clock and continue to come in after 9 o'clock, there's now a new system in place where we can actually give a £50 fine. So,
who to?
To the parents.
And do they pay out?
Luckily, we're only going through the process of doing 2 at the moment because it's been a really strong deterrent.
Like most schools, electronic registration and first day calling to parents have also been introduced. Each week, the attendance team meet to check progress.
The continuation of the rewards in assembly, Jill said that we can have some bigger prizes at the end of the year.
Great.
So we're going to take them out for either bowling or something like that for the best form. And that will be helped by Glenys actually taking out for the form competition some of the most poor attenders, so it's a bit fairer on some of the forms who've got some non-attenders, for example. Any other issues we need to bring out? Anything about the system or...?
No, just to let you know really how First Strike's going. Of the calls that I did get through, the vast majority, 61% of children, were actually off sick. The parent just hadn't got round to giving us a call. Most of the parents were really supportive of the phone calls, especially the odd ones who thought the children were in school and they weren't. The number of calls are reducing. For instance, on the 21st of February, I made 54 calls, and on the 3rd of March, I only made 19. So, you know, it is getting a lot better.
So far, Jill Hislop's positive approach has paid dividends. But to maintain the improvement, she feels she needs to be constantly on alert.
Right, we're just coming up to the end of the school day, and any child that has arrived late this morning will have a 10-minute detention at the end of the school day. And if they do that 10-minute detention, then that's the end of the matter in terms of the punishment for that lateness this morning. However, if they're late more than once in any one day, then they would have a longer detention. So again, it's trying to actually use systems effectively to ensure that they do know that if they don't get things right, there is a consequence to it. But that you know, there's no point in setting up long detention systems. It's better that they just understand what they have to do and how to put something right quickly and then learn from it. So we set up a detention system here in the dining area, which is the main focus in the school, and they come to that at the end of the afternoon. Mrs. Wallace is in the process of setting this up for us.
We're looking at about 20 tonight, about 20 students due for late detention, and they've all been reminded this afternoon.
So the sooner they arrive, the better. You see, some of them are running to their detention.
Kira, right. Tammy, why were you late this morning?
Because I overslept tonight.
You overslept?
And I had not a detention, family problems, because my mum slept at my aunt's because she's got a bit of problem.
Right, OK, so we need to try and get the oversleeping sorted out, don't we, OK?
When I first came here, the children were coming into lessons 20 minutes and half an hour late into a 50-minute lesson at that point in time, and they were constantly seeing that there was no problem with that. We have reduced that whole process down to now we've got children where if they're 10 minutes late, they know that there's going to be some punishment. It would have been an impossible task when I first came here. We would have had everybody in detention, I think. And, you know, that's changed hugely to, again, there isn't the need now to be constantly sweeping the school to get children into lessons. They're in lessons because that's where they want to be.
The reputation's increased, so it's gone positive, which is a good thing. And I feel like more welcome, more... Like now I can say Haywood proudly.
Because your friends come in, you're more... You know, you want to come in, and it's like a chain reaction. If a few people start coming in, everyone else wants to come in.
Looking back to how we are now and to how we was, it is a lot better. It was horrible. I don't know how we did learn anything by the situation how it was, but now it's a lot better.